Hello, I'm Wilder Dreams, and today we're going to be learning how to do a very basic I-Ching reading. The only things you'll need to do this are a pen or pencil, some paper to write on, and then a way to cast your hexagram. Traditionally, yarrow sticks were used, or coins, 3 coins of the same denomination, but for this casting, I will be using 6 different colored 8-sided dice. The first thing we have to do is formulate a question. The question I'm going to ask is, what should I know about the I-Ching? After we've written down the question, we are going to cast our hexagram. If we were casting coins, we would flip the 3 coins and get the result. Each heads is 3, every tails is 2. We sum up the total, and that gives us our line. If the sum of the coins is 6, that is a changing yin line. If the total sum is 7, that is a yang line. If the total sum is 8, that is a yin line. And if the total sum is 9, that is a changing yang line. And we indicate the changing lines with an X or an O. So I am going to use dice. This is a system I personally use. And what I do is I take 6 different colored dice and I roll them. And so we have red at the bottom, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. I'm going to record this hexagram. If the number is odd, it is a yang line. And if it is a 1, it is a changing yang line. If the number is 8, it is a changing yin line. So we start from the bottom, which is a 3, 8, 8, 4, 8, 4. So the bottom line is a yang line. That is a complete straight line. A yin line that is old is a broken line with an X in it. We have a few of those. A 4 is an even number that's not an 8, and that is just a broken line. We have another old yin, and we have another regular yin. So now that we have our hexagram, we're going to identify our changing lines, which I've already done here. Our second, third, and fifth line are all changing. So we are going to determine the primary hexagram using a table. I have one right here. The bottom trigram is a yang with 2 yins above it. So I'm going to find the lower trigram, which is right here. The upper trigram is 3 yins. So we're going to find that over here. And where these 2 meet, we'll find the number is 24. I'm going to note 24. Now we're going to change all of our changing lines to the opposite sign. So all of our changing yins will become yangs, and all of our yangs that are changing will become yins. In this reading, we don't have any changing yangs. We just have changing yins. So now that we've changed the hexagram, all of our X lines become yang lines, and if we had any ones that had O's, they would become yin lines. Now we take a look at what this hexagram is. Below we have 3 yang lines, and above we have a yin line, a yang line, and a yin line. So I'm going to find that over here. And this one above is a 5. There we go. So this one below, this one above gives us 5. Now what we need to do is we need to consult the I-Ching to understand what the interpretation is for this. This is something that's also helpful to have a writing utensil because it's good to journal on this information. We're going to open our book and we are going to find the commentary for hexagram 24. Hexagram 24 is fu, return, or a turning point. The idea of a turning point arises from the fact that after the dark lines have pushed all the light lines upward and out of the hexagram, another light line enters the hexagram from below. The time of darkness is past. The winter solstice brings the light of victory. This hexagram is linked with the 11th month, which is the month of the solstice. The judgment is return, success, going out and coming in without error. Friends come without blame. To and fro goes the way. It furthers one to have somewhere to go. So, this is a point of turning. It is representative of the sunrise or the winter solstice when the sun starts to come back. The I-Ching is telling us that it wants us to know that this is a returning energy. And we can look further into the hexagram to get farther insights. We also had 3 changing lines. We can also look in the I-Ching to get additional information on this information. 6 in the second place means quiet return, good fortune. Return always calls for a decision and is an act of self-mastery. It is easier if a man is in good company, if he can bring himself to put aside pride and follow the examples of good men. Good fortune results. So this one is telling us that in our form of self-mastery, we should keep good company. And I think maybe this could be referring to the I-Ching. The third line says, 6 in the third place, repeated return, danger, no blame. There are people of a certain inner instability who feel a constant urge to reverse themselves. There is danger in continually deserting the good because of uncontrolled desires, then turning back to it again because of a better resolution. However, since this does not lead to habituation in evil, a general inclination to overcome the defect is not wholly excluded. Oh, the I-Ching here is trying to tell us that we might be tempted to come back to it frequently in our readings, but we should always be able to trust our gut. And this is why we write down our readings, so that we can return to what our intuition is saying without having to constantly ask it questions and repeat the same questions because we want a better result. The next one is 6 in the 5th place. Noble-hearted return, no remorse. When the time for return has come, a man should not take shelter in trivial excuses, but should look within and examine himself, and if he has done something wrong, he should make a noble-hearted resolve to confess his fault. No one will regret having taken this road. So this line is telling us that we should take responsibility for our actions and use the yi responsibly. The resulting trigram that comes after we change the lines gives us a little more insight into our question. If we are asking for ourselves, we may have a question that might be more personal to us. So let's look at what this one is. 5, waiting. All beings have need of nourishment from above, but the gift of food comes in its own time. And for this one must wait. This hexagram shows the clouds in the heavens giving rain to refresh all that grows and to provide mankind with food and drink. The rain will come in its own time. We cannot make it come, we have to wait for it. The idea of waiting is further suggested by the attributes of the 2 trigrams, strength within and danger in front. The strength in the face of danger does not plunge ahead but bides its time, whereas weakness in the face of danger grows agitated and has not the patience to wait. So, if we take a look at this reading in its whole, we might want to get some reflection on it. So we might think that the idea of the return might be something that it wants us to return to this knowledge in a place of humility. It wants us to do this in good company. And it also wants us to remember to take this insight and take it with us and not try to come back and back for more information. And when we look at it more specifically, the yi is telling us that we should be patient with it as we're working with the yi. This is a very basic reading, and all you have to do is roll either 6 8-sided dice or flip 3 coins 6 times each. And after that, you get a result. I hope this was helpful and that you are able to understand how to read your own I-Ching now. And I hope that this wisdom provides insight to your path.